So in LA, that would have been Power 106.
Yeah.
Power 106,
Okay.
yeah.
Are they still as relevant as they were?
No,
Or
not even. It's not even. They're not even in the conversation.
wow.
And that's just
Charlamagne's doing. You're saying
headshots, all of them. One guy.
Headshots.
One guy.
What makes him special? What is his?
He's just the smartest guy in the room, and doesn't act like it, but he is, and he's just naturally hilarious. But he can also write. So like he can write funny shit and be funny off the cuff. A lot of times people can be funny off the cuff, but like them putting together like down and like writing prose might be difficult.
Yeah.
And like, but he'll do the Donkey of the Days. You've seen the Donkey of the Days.
Yeah, of
He'll
course.
Like, if he wants, he'll just write the whole thing out, or he'll just kind of riff it. But he also is just really in tune with culture, and he just knows how to like mess with people, plant seeds, harvest them later. He's that good. He's elite at it. And he just came into a new market and fucking haymakers, dude. And it's radio is not a game. Radio's. I mean, he was like attacked, like it's like physical violence comes
It was
from
a
it.
Little Kim thing, though, right? When he said something.
Somebody
about Little
punched
Kim,
him in
a
the
couple
suckered him in the
guys
street, and they started
You
running.
can't say that about Little Kim.
Something like that. I don't know exactly what it was, but they chased him. It was wild shit.
He's a loved and hated guy, right? He's a guy that's loved and hated, but that's probably part of his.
You want passionate
game.
reactions,
Right?
Yeah. You don't want lukewarm reactions.
No.
You want
But how much of it? Because I've obviously we follow him, we talk about him. I'm not gonna lie, I've been critical about him. 'Cause I think how much of it though, Andrew, is like because he pushes.
He'd
there's
be
a
cool
narrative.
with that, by the way. He would be cool with
and
that.
I guess I'd go back and forth with him live in front of his face.
Yeah.
I think sometimes though the rhetoric of the systemic racism and and I get it, the anti-Trump, and I think a lot of that, if it is an act, so to speak, to push people, I think it does more harm than good when you're trying to make people, like we're talking about how dope America is. For somebody that's as successful as he is, as a black dude that even wrote a book, I forgot what it was, like you saying that this country is so bad and so systemic. How did you do it?
Yeah.
Did you slip through the cracks?
Yeah.
And everybody else is screwed, but you're the man to do it. And I get it. I get people, because bro, that shit sells. The Colin Kaepernick angle of, okay, I don't got a job anymore. I'm not that nasty in football anymore. Guess what? Everybody's racist.
Yeah.
You're racist. Hey, mom and dad, you're racist. You're the white parents that adopted him. Y'all racist because I'm trying to sell a book. I think sometimes when it comes to that type of rhetoric, I think it does more harm than good instead of.
I hear you 100%. Like, but I would also say like Charlamagne's been very critical of Cap. You know,
I've seen him
and very critical of the Biden administration. Like, I see Charlamagne pop up on my Fox News feed more than any other commentator. And it's just because he's the only one that's on the left keeping it real with Biden. Like, he's going, first of all, he called out Kamala live on his show.
I remember that.
So it's like, there's a lot, it's very easy to just like, not saying you're doing this, but there are people that like handpick things that he's saying about Trump as if he's not saying way more about Biden, which is, the Democratic Party is his party. He's more critical of his party.
Yeah.
He's not just being alarmist about Trump. He don't fuck with Trump. But you cannot fuck with people.
Yeah.
You're allowed to do that.
Yeah.
But what I respect is instead of turning a blind eye to the Democrats, he holds the fire to them while he's also saying, hey, this guy, because he really thinks Trump is going to be like a tyrannical dictator.
Just like Robert De Niro talking about, they're going to come after me.
Yeah, but De Niro, with all due respect, is like an actor. You know what I mean? Like,
and he's Hollywood at this point. He has to sing the narrative.
Maybe it's Hollywood, maybe it's not. But he's also like, actors.
But you genuinely believe that does Charlamagne genuinely believe that Trump is going to be a dictator? Because
Charlamagne's from South Carolina. Like, you have to understand, he's probably more conservative. Like, Tim Scott is his boy. Like, he's friends with all these guys. Like, he's friends with these politicians. Nancy Grace came to my birthday party. Do you know who Nancy Grace is? She's like, just randomly, this woman walks in, and I'm like, aren't you the UFO chick? Like, what the fuck is going on? So, like, he's interfacing. No, is that her? No, not Nancy Grace. Who's the UFO one that's Nancy?
Nancy Grace used to be on CNN or.
No,
she's the one when the people are kidnapped.
She's a congresswoman that, like.
Mace?
Nancy Mace. Nancy Mace.
Mace.
She was just on Bill Maher. Nancy Mace.
Yeah, so it's like, he's like interfacing with all these people, but he's such a high-profile figure that if he says anything critical about Trump, or if he speaks about the importance of diversity and the importance or how systemically racist America is, I think a lot of times there's this spotlight specifically on that. But you can speak about those things.
Yeah, for sure.
Like you should also, if you're really passionate about that. And you're going to be way more passionate about it than I am because it affects me less than it affects you. So I get why you're talking about it. You know, I'm still going to make him a Republican.
Good.
You know what I mean?
You're gonna make Charlamagne a Republican.
I don't think I'm a Republican, but I'm going to make Charlamagne. But no. But yeah, I think he's put it this way: like him being that critical of the Democratic Party is way more of a risk for him. Like he can't. That hurts him way more, especially within his followers, than him saying that systemic racism is there.
Well, Schulz, you know, famously, you know, Black America knows who Charlamagne the God is. They know the Breakfast Club. You know, white America did not know who this dude is until Joe Biden literally said to his face, "Well, if you don't vote for Biden, you ain't black."
Right?
And he didn't say
popped off.
Fire.
So, and I've seen him be critical of Trump for sure, and even Biden. He called out Kamala to her face. But now you're seeing the polls. I think historically, blacks have voted for the Democratic Party 85, 90%.
Blacks are fucking with Trump now, huh?
Yeah.
But it's starting to...
Kodak Black just said they'll vote for him for 20
starting
years.
to crack. I mean...
It always starts in Florida. Whatever happens in Florida eventually just makes its way to the
when
rest
Kodak
of America.
Black and Lil Pump are voting, you know, they got the movement right there. I mean, that's just right there. But how much pull do you think...
I'll be honest. I think the reason why people, non-whites in Florida, feel so much more comfortable voting for Trump or Republicans, they feel less scrutiny than, let's say, like up in New York, is because you have a immigrant population or descendants of immigrants that come from, like, for example, Cubans that are coming from like communism, and they're terrified of liberal policies because they feel like it's going to lead to the communism. So now you have people of color that are already staunch Republicans. So other people of color go, oh, I guess it's okay to like adopt this ideology. Where in New York, the idea of being a person of color and being a Republican, you are kind of viewed, at least when I was growing up, a little bit more of like a sellout. And now I think that's changing. I think that's important that it changes.
I think this guy named 50 Cent, who apparently whoever he doesn't like, you have to kind of investigate, right? Some poet said that once. But 50 may vote Trump. And if 50 votes Trump, it's going to be very weird if he's out there. Because he said that, right? And then somebody came back and said something, and he had to correct himself. I think it was Mayor Adams with the whole $53 million. Why do I have to pay $53 million credit card to these illegal immigrants? Yet this may be a season for me to vote for Trump. I had a conversation with Mayor Adams, and we'll see if they're going to figure it out. Now I got to find out why Hochul's not doing this. So he kind of Adams almost threw Hochul under the bus. Now I want to talk to Hochul. So is there always that mayor-governor competition in New York going on?
I think he's just leveraging it for more funds, man. She got the checkbook, and he got to find a way to get the check.
50's got, it's going to be, how crazy you think things are going to get between now and November? Like how crazy you think it's going to get?
It's going to get fun. It's going to get fun.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.